Welcome back to On the Bus with Troy Vollhoffer. I'm hopping off the bus up here in old Calgary, Alberta, to speak to some of the members of the hottest country band of the last decade. Oh my God. ACM, CMAs, Group of the Year. Unbelievable. You know and love their hits like Snapback, No Such Thing as a Broken Heart, and One Man Band. These guys are amazing. They're currently on their How Good Is That World Tour. And in August, they dropped their 6th studio album, Barbara. Well, I don't know what that means, but we're going to find out. Please welcome Old Dominion. I'm sitting here with one of the greatest bands of all time in country music, and I'm not exaggerating that, because there's 2 bands that come to light when I say the greatest bands. It's Old Dominion, Alabama, and I don't know what else I'm talking about. So where you guys been? Let's start from the top. How did it start? Because I'm going to tell you, when I first saw you guys, I was totally blown away. I booked you at a 1 o'clock slot in Phoenix, Arizona. You played 2 shows that day. 2? Maybe 3.
Played like I was gonna say, mine was like 4. Mine 4. We played the Firestone Tent. We played the side stage. I didn't have to hurry. I was in response for 2 of those. It was all Gil's fault. Show. All Gil's fault. And then like 3 weeks later, I go to Gil's house. Yeah, I have Old Dominion doing the showcase at my house. And I just saw him like 2 weeks ago. And you're playing his freaking living room, right? Yeah. Unbelievable. Great. From there, it's been an amazing journey. It's been an amazing career to this point.
Thank you.
So how did you guys get together? Let's talk about that first. Who started the band? How did it happen? How do you all get together?
I mean, it kind of organically formed over a couple of years. Our drummer, who's not here right now, Whit, and I went to middle school together, and we lived in the same county in Virginia.
What city in Virginia?
It's close to Roanoke, Virginia.
Yep.
The next county over, which is called Botetourt County. And at the time, it was rural enough to have one middle school that split into 2 high schools. So we both went to middle school and then went to opposite high schools. But we kept in touch loosely throughout the years. And then he went to James Madison University, which is where these guys went to, and he met them. He was in a band with Jeff, and Brad's band and Jeff's band. We're all playing the same kind of circuit.
So all different bands, though.
All different
Brad
bands.
has a different band.
Yeah.
Jeff, you had a different band?
His was the band that actually had fans.
They had fans. Yeah.
The handsome guy, right? Yeah.
And then I would go up, I would drive to Harrisonburg, Virginia, and open for Jeff and Whit's band sometimes.
Oh, cool.
And then after a while, I decided I was going to move to Nashville and try my hand at being a songwriter. And not long after I moved, I met Trevor, and we started writing together. And then these guys trickled into town, and then there we were in town. Trevor and I were writing songs together, and we thought, how do we play these songs at a bar, and we can't afford to hire a band? And I was like, well, I got some buddies in town, maybe they'll do it for free. And then we just started playing for fun.
Then for like
15 years later,
I paid you 100.
yeah. We were really, songwriting stuff took a while, but that started to kind of take off.
So in the beginning, after you kind of got together, is that when the songwriting process kind of started?
Not really.
Songwriting, like I had moved there also to just be a songwriter.
Yep.
And, so we had all been, these guys were here for a lot longer than I was, but we all kind of started having some songwriting success at the same time as the band really started to take off. So it kind of snowballed all together.
Yeah, it was sort of like we were really focused on the songwriting because, like, let's face it, the band thing seemed like a long shot. We could play gigs and we sounded good together, but, our motto was always like, this is never going to work anyway. So we weren't really taking the band seriously. We just loved doing it, but we were really trying to get cuts as songwriters. But yeah, they both kind of happened at the same time. Like, after a while, we had played so long together, we had a sound. And then people started cutting our songs, and we started having a few hits as writers. And then the buzz started happening where people were going, hey, who's this band? And then after that, we got turned down by every record label for like the next 5 years.
Gentlemen, doesn't that seem like that's kind of the story? I've been doing this podcast for a couple of years, which is kind of fun. It's great to get inside of artists' minds. But the one thing that is common amongst all artists is the fact that they got turned down 5, 6, 7 times from a record deal. If you don't have the tenacity to continue on and push through that, you don't have a career. You're back, putting groceries in a bag.
Yeah, I don't know if it's tenacity or stupidity or what, I mean, honestly,
Lack of other options.
yeah, lack of other options. Honestly, I think what we had was just a love for it. We were just having fun. So, I remember.
You're always kind of see, for some reason, you can always find something that makes you believe that if I just get that done,
Yeah.
then everything's going to be all right.
carrots
Yeah.
Yeah. We would, at one point we had finally gotten our manager, and he's kind of setting up the record label meetings, and we wouldn't get an offer, and he would.
Who is your manager?
Clint Heim, and
Great guy.
yeah. And I remember he would invite us to lunch or something and to break the news to us. He was gearing himself up to be like, "Hey, it was a no," and we would just be like, "That's cool, man." And he'd be like, "You want to keep going?" We're like, "Yeah." Well, if they don't like it, that's fine. We just kept doing it.
So my most memorable moment, the Old Dominion, was first show out of COVID. It was May 22nd, I believe, 2021, Iowa. And you guys came out. Big and Rich was direct support to y'all. You guys came out and just freaking slayed it. And I was like, it was so great to have a breath of air where you actually went,
Right.
where I think we might be back in business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys slayed it, man. And
It's a lot of pent up energy.
every band on that bill, we had Skinner the next day, and it was like every band just played beyond what your thought process would have been of how you'd expect someone to go out and do it. And I just want to congratulate you on your live show, because your live show is fantastic.
Thank
and
you. Thank you.
there's a lot about being on record and stuff like that, but how you present it live setting, it's amazing. Let's talk about that for a second, because there's a big difference between in the studio, recording songs, writing songs, the whole process, to actually going out and presenting them live. How did that come to be? Just from playing together so long, or
I think
what?
so, yeah. Because we used to play just to make a few extra bucks. Before the songwriting success happened or anything, we'd play 4-hour sets, covers and stuff.
Yep.
So just as much as we possibly could, to one, because we loved it, but two, because they're paying us $400 or whatever, and we could split that up and make a little bit of extra money. And then we started kind of going out of town a little bit in a little minivan here and there, where we realized you could make a little bit more money outside of Nashville than you could in Nashville. So we're like, oh, let's drive a little bit and make a little bit of cash. And so I think just over time, we just kind of learned how to do it a little bit,
Also, just learning the difference between playing the songs and entertaining the crowd.
Sure.
Two different things.
When you're starting, you don't have this back catalog of hits to rely on, or if you're the opener, either way. So it is this game, like, okay, well, how do we capture the people that are here? Because they may or may not know who we are or any of our music. And so if you can do it at that level, then when it gets to this point, when you've got 10 songs everyone knows and a full set list that they're waiting for, then it's gravy.
Yeah. You're an international band. How did you capture Canada? 2 years ago, I went up with Clint to Toronto, and you guys are playing, I don't know what's called, Air Canada Centre at the time or whatever it was called, but the arena in Toronto where the Maple Leafs play out of. And I walked in that venue, it was sold out, and everyone was singing your songs. And Dallas Smith was a support act on that. I was totally blown away. Like, it was off the hinge. I mean, it was an amazing show, but it seemed like the Canadians really dive into what you got going on.
Yeah.
No freaking.
I know. I'm going to say
That was an interesting question.
it took us by surprise too. We were just telling this story as we had Break Up With Them out on the radio, and they booked us to play the Boots and Hearts Festival.
Well, I think it was just on XM at the time.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it was just on XM, and we were it wasn't even on the festival. It was like the pre-party the day before the festival. They had booked us at this stage. It was a pretty big stage, a big tent.
Yep.
And we started playing Break Up With Them, and it was crazy. Like, we were taken aback by how loud people climbing on his shoulders and stuff. And we were like, whoa.
There's footage. Someone like had the sense to start recording, and there's footage of us just looking at each other like, what is happening right now?
So yeah, that was a big shock to us too. We were like, how did we do this? Are we huge in Canada?
Well, I think you are.
Turns out.
We seem to get a lot of love, from the radio too. They're always getting.
I think there's something about our music too that it's not straight country. We grew up in rock bands, and so I think there's a lot of different styles. And for some reason, I feel like that resonates in Canada.
I think melodically you have a very unique sound. And I mean, it's your songs are you listen to the hook, and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
it gets you. And that's probably because of that, right?
Yeah, and probably because I grew up playing hockey.
That was the thing.
They can sense how close he was to Porter.
Yeah. There's just something about it that they knew they were supposed to.
They're like, I like that guy for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, shit. Well, I don't want to exclude anyone on this one. This is directly to Trevor since you brought it up. But, man, I don't know exactly how we did this together, but I'm part of the National Predators alumni, and we were doing something. And how did you and I end up playing?
You invited me to, because Kelly Chase does that fantasy camp in Nashville. So you asked me if I wanted to be a part of it. And so.
And you've been there ever since.
Oh, yeah.
And Dirk Bentley also.
Yeah.
And I remember calling Dirk's agent going, hey, man, you want to play in this thing? Because Kelly Chase wanted some celebrity fabric to it or whatever. And
now he can't get rid of me.
And can't get rid of Dirk. Can't get rid of Dirk's either. We've had a lot of fun hanging out after.
Oh, yeah.
What do you say remembers on the hockey thing? Your hockey story is amazing. I don't know if you want to share that with us or not.
Yeah. Well, first off, doing the camps that we do, like, the music thing, it's one thing, but all I ever wanted to do was play hockey from a young age. That's what I planned on doing. So getting to do those, sitting in a locker room with Brendan Shanahan and Chris, all these guys that are telling stories, and you guys telling stories about fighting Bob Proper, just like I was sitting there soaking it up. Like, I can't believe I'm in this room. So it's like kind of a dream come true. But yeah, that's all I ever wanted to do was play hockey. And I made it to a Division I college, and then got busted for smoking pot 3 games in, and the dream was over.
3 games, man. I didn't realize it was that quick.
I played 3 games, and I was doing great, and then all of a sudden the rug got pulled out. So
I mean, not to blow smoke up your ass, but you're a hell of a player. We all laugh because the Muso comes in and scores all the goals, right? It's kind of like it's pretty impressive.
Well, thank you.
But it's a great philanthropic thing, and we give a lot of money back to curing cancer and helping other people out. And the games aren't just for us to go out there and have fun and drink beers together and tell a bunch of crazy stories. I mean,
what Kelly's gone through too has just been crazy.
Yeah, he went through a tough go, and he's good now, which is fantastic. Awesome. So, yeah, Kelly Chase went through. Our friend who played for the St. Louis Blues went through a bout with cancer that almost took him down, and he's back now and he's good. So knock on wood, and lots of prayers go in his direction. And
that's awesome.
It's fantastic. So what's up tonight? We're in Calgary, Alberta. That's why I'm wearing my cowboy outfit.
Looks good on you.
Yeah.
Freaking Calgary. I'm in Cowboy Town. Let's do it. So what's on the agenda tonight? I mean, the only thing I regret about doing this interview at this time, I'm missing Clint Black because he was one of my.
I know, we could hear him play.
Look at awesome, right?
Yeah, he sounded great. I mean, tonight we've kind of learned we're lucky enough now to be at a point in our career where we can just do what we do. We used to have to be like, festival crowd, let's change things around, and they're going to get bored here and that. But now we're luckily to a point where we have enough songs that people know, and we don't have to worry about that too much. So we go out there, and that's our happy place, man. We get out on stage and we're comfortable.
Don't rock out,
and we just have a great time.
I love it. I mean, I think you are the greatest live band. And I mean, you're the last greatest live band out there. And I hope there's kids coming up trying to follow in your footsteps and being inspired by you. I mean, so in saying that, who were your inspirations? Let's start.
I mean, growing up, my first concert was Guns N' Roses. I bought a Les Paul because Slash after, so that was like, I can always cut out the little Hit Parade magazine, those little pictures of all the freaking hair band guys. And so, but from there, then I went to a lot of Southern rock, like Allman Brothers, Black Crowes, love James Taylor.
Yeah, a lot of the same, plus a lot of the kind of the 90s grunge stuff for me.
Who's your favorite bass player?
I'll say Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers is amazing. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
I like Tom Peterson.
Also amazing. Also amazing.
12-string bass.
Yeah. But I think that like that kind of like common influences or growing up is probably one of the things that makes this work so well. We all have kind of our own niches of music, but the fact that we all have kind of a shared vocabulary from that era was really helpful.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's always hard for me to narrow down because I was like a child of the radio, really.
Sure.
So I think I just always grew up loving and being mystified by great songs. So it's like, it might have been like Michael Jackson early on, but I grew up in Detroit. So we had so much, we had great rock music, and I played in a rock band.
Pretty great rock scene.
Yeah. We had hip hop. We had a lot of
Kind of everything, right?
Motown. I mean, it was like, I think Motown and oldies like really was a big influence on me, but my
Like the real melodic stuff.
yeah, I mean, but it could be Chicago, it could be some super sappy ballad. And I remember being like just a really little kid and being fascinated by like, how do people make up these melodies? How do you make up a song that hasn't been there before? So I just always would, when a song would hit me and I just craved hearing it again, I'd be like, no, what is it about this thing that's making me want to hear it again? So, I mean, it could be anything from Faith No More to Nirvana or James Taylor or Chicago or everything in
I
between.
love that James Taylor has been a common name used in this conversation.
Yeah.
For sure.
I love James Taylor. I mean, as a kid, I was always a fan. Billy Joel, amazing, right?
Yeah.
Elton John, of course.
Yeah, my first concert was Huey Lewis and the News, and I was probably like 11. I just remember seeing the reaction in the room, and I just was immediately like, whatever he's doing,
I want to do it.
I want to do that.
I'm addicted.
I got to figure that
You got
out.
bit by the bug the first time.
The first time, I was like, oh my
Golly.
God, this is insane. And then, I also really loved a lot of, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, those guys. But then ultimately, huge Springsteen fan. And then there was another pivotal moment that I remember my dad buying me Don Henley's Into Innocence.
Oh, what a great record.
And I immediately fell in love
Holy
with that
shit.
thing. So that played a huge part.
Where's Old Dominion going in the future? Where do you see, like, what's the next step? I mean, you constantly tour. You guys spend more time on the road than most artists do.
Well, I got split it 5 ways, so
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. I always tell my kids, man, it's not like a one-hit thing. You got to have longevity to spread it across time.
Yeah.
So it's 26. I mean, we're in 25 now, but what does 26 look like? How far do you guys plan ahead? I guess really is the question I'm asking you.
27.
Yeah.
I think that 27, we're talking about going back to some of the major
major markets. So
Chicago's, New York's, LA.
Right.
yeah, we got some things in the works next year for up here in Canada too. So that's coming soon.
We're also putting out a new album.
Who's Barbara?
Yeah.
It was just an idea, one of these dumb ideas. And
On the side of your truck.
Yeah.
The image of Barbara came after the idea of naming the album. So we're like, well, this is just for fun. We named the album Barbara. And then when we started talking about the idea of the album cover, wouldn't it be fun to kind of create an image that we all kind of came up with in our head? And then we sent out for headshots for all these people, and we got maybe 10 or 12 headshots, and we're all separate at the time. We all get this email. And I don't know that we've ever had hands down unanimous decision in the 15 years of this band. Everyone replied like
our email.
Yeah.
Shalene.
That's like, that's our girl.
Well, hey, I won't going to keep you any longer because you guys got to go do 90 minutes of fun out there. And they're all waiting. It's a big crowd tonight, and it's going to be electric because we've had a beautiful day. It's going to be fantastic. But I just want to thank you for carving this time out of your day to share it with myself and the Country Thunder fans. And thank you very much. And
Man, thank you.
awesome. And I'm a huge fan of yours, and I wish you the best and the greatest luck going forward, and keep rocking.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
One of the most rewarding parts of putting on a music festival is filling out the lineup. Of course, I love having the biggest stars on stage, but it's also a chance for fans to see some of the up and coming artists. And one I'm keeping my eye on, who played Country Thunder last night, is Beamer Wigley. He's a winner from our Rising Star Talent Contest with one of our festival sponsors, Ranchman's. Ranchman's is an iconic club in Calgary. It's a real cowboy joint. and has done more for country music in Canada than any other place. As a part of this prize, he wins a spot on the main stage. Beamer has so much energy and is poised on stage. He's still a young guy, but he's been playing guitar since he was 5 years old. Well, how interesting is that? He's been putting in the work at home and releasing music on his own. So thrilled to have Beamer opening for us at Country Thunder this year. We'll definitely keep an eye on him going forward. Go get him, Beamer. I wish you the best of luck, and we're always here for you. The biggest thanks to the guys from Old Dominion for sitting down with me today. I remember seeing these guys at Country Thunder, Arizona. They had to play 2 shows. They played the 1:30 slot and then went at 10:30 and played the beer garden. And then maybe a month later, I go to my friend's house and they're doing a showcase in the dude's living room. They've had an amazing career, and I don't think it has even started yet. Head to weareolddominion.com to see where they're stopping on their How Good Is That World Tour. They'll be making stops across the US and Europe, so check them out. I'm Troy Vollhoffer, and this has been On the Bus. Thanks as always. We'll see you next time. Be safe. Be sure to follow Country Thunder on all our social platforms at Country Thunder. We have new episodes dropping bi-monthly. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast so you know when the new episodes hit the feed. Beamer Wigley. He's going to be a star, I'm telling you, with a name like that.